Hello everyone, welcome to the biology tutorial. Today we are going to study about the lymph. Last time we have discussed about the lymph node and the lymphatic system. This is a summary of the lymphatic system from the heart. The oxygenated blood, it passes to the different parts of the body. Artery carry the oxygenated blood. Artery, it will divide, it will branch into the arterioles. Again the arterioles will branch into the smaller parts which is known as the capillaries. The capillary has got the two ends, one is arterial end and next one is the venous end. This blue color is the vein. Here the deoxygenated blood it passes to the heart, and this green color is the lymphatic system. In the lymphatic system there is the flow of liquid which we call as the lymph. Lymph, it travels, it flows in the lymphatic capillaries, and from the lymphatic capillaries it joins and make the lymphatic vessels. Again lymphatic vessels will join and make the lymphatic duct. Again from the lymphatic duct it will join to the vein. In the vein all the lymph will be empty into the subclavian vein, and from the subclavian vein it will move into the heart. What happens in the capillaries? In the capillary, the exchange of nutrients and the waste materials occurs. Let's zoom into the capillaries. This one is the blood capillary. This one is the arterial end. Here blue color is the venous end. Every time 20 liters of the fluid it is leaked from the blood capillaries. In the blood capillaries, there is the presence of pores or the holes. It is made of a single layer of the endothelial cell. The fluid it passes into the tissue space which we call as the liquid is known as the interstitial fluid. From there it will move upward. It will go to the cells nearby. Between the cells these species are present. It will uptake the nutrients. The nutrients are required for the growth and development of the cell. Again 70 liters of the fluid will come back to the venous end. This 70 liters of the fluid it includes the carbon dioxide and other waste materials. Okay, here is 20 liter, here is 70 liter. Then where is the 3 liters of the fluid? You may be confused here. This 3 liters of the fluid it remains in the tissue space. What will happen every time, every day, if 3 liters of the fluid is accumulated there? Actually we are losing some portion, some volume of the blood, isn't it? So we need to clear that fluid also. We need to transport the proteins. We need to transfer the proteins again back to the circulatory system which our cell requires. Okay, then someone is giving us a lift who is helping us to regain that fluid liquid. Here comes the role of the lymphatic system. This green color is the lymphatic capillaries. It will uptake that 3 liters of the fluid. When the tissue fluid enters the lymphatic capillaries, we call it as the lymph. Okay, this same fluid here we call the tissue fluid or interstitial fluid. When it enters the lymphatic capillaries, we call as the lymph. This one is the lymph. And when it enters the lymphatic capillaries, it will move from the capillaries to the vessels, again back into the circulations. This is a cycle of our lymphatic system. Zooming into the lymphatic capillaries, you can see the overlapping structure. In this overlapping structure, there is the presence of the pores. The pores are greater in comparison to the blood capillaries. The pores are greater. Pores are greater means holes are greater. Permeability is high. So the larger particles can enter inside the lymphatic capillaries. When the pressure of the fluid at the outside becomes more, then the fluid will enter through this hole. It will move upwards. There is the presence of bulb which will prevent the backflow of the liquid. The similarity between the blood capillaries and lymphatic capillaries is they both have single layer of the endothelial layer, but it differs into the permeability. In the blood capillaries, the holes are smaller, whereas in lymphatic capillaries, holes are a bit bigger. And this lymphatic system, it helps to transport the larger particles in it, which the blood capillaries cannot pass it. In the lymph, the tissue fluid, there is not the presence of the red blood cell because red blood cells are larger enough which the blood capillaries doesn't allow to pass in it. Okay, what is lymph? We said here. What is lymph? Lymph is actually the clear watery fluid and its composition is similar to the plasma because the fluid is derived from the plasma, but slightly it may differ in the concentration of the constituents. It may differ in the proteins present in it. The substances are large enough to pass through the blood capillaries wall present in it. So, in order to compensate that, there is the role of the lymphatic system. It is identical in composition to the interstitial fluid. Yes, they are similar. The interstitial fluid composition and the lymph composition are similar, but it will differ in some amount. It consists of the lymphocytes. Lymphocytes are T cells, B cells, which help in the immune system. It acts as a defense mechanism. It carries the larger particles like bacteria and cell debris from the damaged tissue. Just think if bacteria are present. Just think what will happen if the bacteria is present in the blood. If bacteria is present in the blood, we call it as the bacteremia. And when the condition becomes severe, when the bacteria multiplies and releases the toxin, then we call it as the septicemia. In order to prevent from that scenario, in order to prevent from that condition, our body has developed a system so that we can clear out, we can just remove the bacteria, we can filter out the bacteria. Where comes the role of the lymphatic system? When the lymph travels from one node to another, inside the node, there is the presence of the macrophages which will chop down the bacterial fragments and kill it, and eventually it will activate the T cell and B cell. There will be the production of antibodies and our body will be prepared for the defense mechanism. Talking about the composition, it is composed of 96% water and 4% of solid. In the lymph, different organic substance and inorganic substance are present. In the organic substance, there is the presence of protein, lipids, carbohydrate, amino acids, and the waste substances like urea and creatinine are also present. Inorganic substances like sodium, calcium, potassium are present. Its concentration is lower than that of the blood plasma. Similarly, the chlorides, bicarbonates are present. Its concentration is higher than that of the blood plasma. Cellular components like macrophages are present. The role of macrophage is for the phagocytosis, for the defense mechanism, and lymphocytes are present. Lymphocytes like T lymphocytes, B lymphocytes, and monocytes are present. Okay, removal. Its function: removal of the bacteria and toxin and cell debris from the tissue. Cell debris from the infected and damaged cell, they are removed by the lymph. Fats are absorbed in the small intestine. As we know, the food we intake in our daily life, if it contains the fat, then our body needs to absorb that fat. Our cell needs that fat, which is collected by the lacteals. Lacteals is a type of the lymphatic capillaries. The lymphatic capillaries will absorb the fat in the form of the chylomicrons. Chylomicrons is the collection of the fat globules. When the fat it enters the lymph, then it will give the color milky appearance, which is called as the chyle. Okay, immunity. The role of immunity we have discussed earlier. The production of the antibodies and clearing of the microbes. Redistribution of fluid in the body. Just imagine if every time 3 liters of the fluid is accumulated in the tissue space, what will happen? The waterlogged condition will be formed. As a result, there will be the swelling. Every time when 3 liters of the fluid get accumulated in the tissue space, then there will be the accumulation of waterlogged condition, swelling may occur, then the edema may occur. It has to return the protein from tissue space back to the blood.